Greetings once again, people of Earth. I am Smog, and this is my colleague Grog. This is our second communication from deep space as we continue our journey to your planet.
We're about 3/4 of the way to Earth, which means we'll be arriving in about a year or so. And frankly, we can't get there soon enough because there's not a lot to see along this space corridor.
That's the understatement of the millennium. Hey, look at that star go by. Wow, there's another star. Hey Grog, now that's a star. Am I right? I wish we'd get hit by an asteroid or something. Just to liven things up a bit. That was really weird.
That really never happened.
I think it was staring at me.
We're kind of freaked out by that.
Where'd that come from?
What the was that?
That was really alien looking. Creeped me out.
Anyway, to pass the time, we decided to take up chess, the Earth board game of military strategy. Unfortunately, Smog wasn't able to learn it, so we just played checkers now.
Well, you know I have spatial awareness difficulties.
No, you don't. That's when you bump into things. You're just slow.
Am not.
R2.
Am not.
R2.
Am not.
R2.
Am not. Let's move on.
Let's.
Alright then. We would now like to take some time to give you a brief biological and cultural history of our species. We are called Zorks. We evolved from creatures that look like, well, imagine a 200-pound squid mixed with a large stink bug, and you get the idea.
They're considered among the most beautiful creatures ever to roam our planet.
But we are not the only sentient species on Caltrans. There are numerous others of all different shapes and sizes living side by side with each other. Some are indigenous, others have migrated from other worlds. It's a bustling, vibrant, pungent populace. Imagine the Star Wars cantina with backed up toilets during an unceasing Mardi Gras.
I won't kid you. It's good to get away from it for a while. I'm still trying to get the smell of it out of my nostrils.
And the racket. Oh, the racket. Well, with all these different species and different cultures, unsurprisingly there were tensions between them.
Because of this, Caltrans has had a number of conflicts over its history.
So without going into too much detail, here is a non-exhaustive list of the wars we Zorks and the other species of Caltrans have had with each other. Kicking it off with the War of the Worms, then came the War of the Eyeballs, then came the war between the Oaks and the Maples, then we Zorks battled the Ant Queens of Nether, then came the Divorce Wars, particularly brutal. They were followed by the War of the Million Tears. Then came your War of Wars with Zygon Steinmetz. Oh wait, sorry, that was a TV variety show.
At this point in our history, there began a long period of peace, because we had to repopulate the planet before we could start having wars again.
Now we continue with Caltrans's wars with other planets. First up, our war against the escaped syphilitic space pirates of Lunar Rock. This was followed by the attack of the Spiderbots from planet Googla. Then came the horrible space invaders. Whoa, they were tough.
I know. The way their ships just kept methodically drifting down from the sky in even rows, moving menacingly from side to side, incessantly pounding our ground-to-air defenses. It was terrible.
If we hadn't discovered they'd cleverly tapped into our planet's power supply, we might not be speaking with you today.
We just unplugged their extension cord, and poof, they all disappeared. Who knew?
Continuing now with the invasion of the frail-bearded lumberjacks. Then came our invasion of the planet Mumba-Doomba. Then came the war between the Rockers and the Posers. That one was decided by an epic battle of the bands. Then came our infamous war with the planet Zeldone. Unfortunately, one of our atom disruptors misfired and destroyed a Zeldonian daycare moon.
There's still some lingering hard feelings over that one.
Then, tired of perpetual warfare, a sector-wide federation of planets was formed, and an era of peace and understanding had finally begun.
Which was interrupted the next day by the 50-year War of Peace and Understanding.
We couldn't agree on a color scheme for the Federation seal.
I still think we should have gone with Mob.
We'll discuss it later. Anyway, now for the religious wars. Mr. Smog, the ship's fuel is running low. Please insert another fuel brick into the reactor. Come again? We are on E, Mr. Smog. Please insert another fuel brick. Oh.
You've got to be kidding me. You forgot to bring extra fuel bricks? You only had one thing to do and you still f***ed it up.
Well, I went for one last cocktail at the Red Star Lounge the night before we left. Then who else but Six Eyes Kowalski slithers in? Well, you know how the two of us are when we get together. He told me he had just blown into town to get some snail.
Shut the f*** up, you f***ing idiot. What the hell are we gonna do now? We're gonna die out here. Central Command is gonna be pissed.
Excuse me, Miss Grog. Map data for this quadrant shows we are fast approaching a planet with natural minerals that could possibly be synthesized into fuel for the ship. I recommend we stop there and attempt this. There is a concern, however. Oh no, there's always a concern. A bioscan of the planet indicates it is host to a pre-literate civilization. They appear to be peaceful, but I recommend you avoid detection nonetheless.
We have no choice. Set coordinates for this planet, computer.
Setting coordinates. Arrival imminent. Don't go anywhere, Earthlings. We'll be back in like 30 of your Earth minutes. Meanwhile, here's some Caltransian on hold music while you wait. The civilization was not as peaceful as my readings had first indicated.
You had to ask for a restroom.
What was I supposed to do? I had a turtle peeking out.
Ooh, you're disgusting.
Incoming!
Smog and Grog, Smog and